What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of The Block is Hot. In this episode, I'm going to be showing you guys my little checklist and the process I have when it comes to finding new CNFT projects. One of the comments that I had gotten recently was like, oh, dude, I appreciate this kind of educational video here. And one of the things that I realized is that I used to do a lot more guides on this channel of different ways that I did stuff and just kind of learning lessons. And recently, it's been more so, okay, this is what the CNFT market is looking like. These are some good upcoming mints. So I figured I would change things up, and I'll hopefully teach you guys a little bit more of how to vet these different projects. But without further ado, let's get into it. One of the most important skills when it comes into getting into NFTs, regardless of what chain you get into, is the ability to find upcoming projects that you think are going to do well as the ability to distinct between a good project, a bad project, and a project that you should flip, swing, or hold for the long term. And the two sites that I go on the most, guys, to actually find these upcoming projects are bestcnftdrops.com as well as cnftcalendar.com. Now, cnftcalendar.com is going to have the majority of drops listed on there, even though it's kind of a grind fest going through all of these different drops because a lot of them don't have a ton of potential, guys. But CNFT best drops or best CNFT drops is going to have a more filtered and a more refined result. And usually this is where I like to go first, just because it is the least amount of time to find, kind of filtered out projects here. Now, they rank stuff from questionable to good to best, and they're usually pretty good. There's been a couple of times where they've done a good or best for a project that wasn't a good or best, and there's a couple of times they left out projects, like Cornucopias is not on here. They mostly do new mints, not mints from projects that are already out there. But if you see here, guys, 3 of the 4 drops that I included on my YouTube video, Best Upcoming Mints, are literally listed on this website now. So they do a decent job. Usually what I'll do first when I'm looking for projects is I'll go on this site and I'll open up every single website in Twitter by just right-clicking and opening up in a new tab here. And I'm just going to open up here. I'm going to open up 3 of them and we'll just go through 3 of them. Now, once I have the websites open, I check out the website. That's the first thing that I check out. Websites are super, super important, guys. I talk about expertise and skills and ability, and if your website looks like crap, or if it looks like you just did some random WordPress thing, or if it's really hard or unclear for me to find the information that I need, then that is going to correlate to other things they do in the project. I want to be in a project that has a high standard, that is doing things at a high level, and the website's going to be the first place that a lot of people look. So if it doesn't look good, then what's going to basically stop me from just clicking off of this page? Now let's take a look at this. First thing I noticed, guys, it's all black and white. It's kind of going for this dark theme, which isn't too bad, but it also doesn't look too great. Nothing's really popping me or really keeping me on this page. And then when I'm looking here, guys, we would like to highlight a few key rules. Please be respectful, welcoming, polite, and encouraging. We all aim and inspire to be dragons. Under no circumstance will inappropriate. Like, what is this? Like, why do I need this information here? This is the first thing that is coming up on their page. This is their opportunity to grab my attention and to keep me reading. And what I'm seeing here is a bunch of rules that have no place on this website. So off the rip, I'm going to question how well they're going to be able to execute on their project. Are they actually going to, if this website isn't looking too good, what else isn't going to look too good? If this website is having useless information, then do they really know what they're doing as far as the information they need to deliver to their investors or potential investors? Probably not. Now, I'm looking through this here, 4,000 unique dragons, and I briefly looked over this earlier. This unfortunately didn't make my list, and it's no crapping on any project, guys. Like, I'm just an honest-ass dude. So now we're going to, it didn't really seem like much was here, maybe a little bit of a background and lore, and then we get into the phases. When it comes to roadmap, guys, I'm looking for a couple things. One, I'm looking for some sort of unique utility that hasn't really been done, and that is really rare to find. A lot of projects just copy and paste the same exact utilities every single time. The second thing I'm looking for is I'm looking for some sort of thing happening in the future that is going to bring the hype back to the project. Most projects only have like a 2 to 3 week hype span, and it's up to future drops and future releases, as well as a strong community to really keep that project alive. So if I get into a project, most of the time, if they don't have anything coming out in a phase 2 or phase 3 that I think is going to bring more eyes on the project again, because most projects die within the first 2-3 weeks as far as hype goes, because people just move their money into something else, then that is a project I'm either A, not going to mint, or B, I'm going to mint it if I think there's potential, but then I'm just going to flip it. I'm not going to hold it long term because it doesn't look like they have anything coming up that's going to bring more people back in. Now, their phase 1 here is basically saying the beginning of this. They were designing it, they were launching the website, they wanted to work with Cardano, they wanted to build a positive and bustling community, announce whitelist details. Pretty much phase 1, guys, is just their pre-launch phase. And I'm not like, it's okay to have this in here, but once again, it's like, we already know that you're doing these things. Every single project has done these things. Like, I want to see what you guys are doing differently and the plans of the future of this project. A lot of this stuff that they're mentioning in this pre-phase is stuff that they should have already done, like have a website and have a Twitter before having this project and have the art done. Like, that's pretty basic stuff, and we all assume that. So having this much information here is not necessary. Then when I go to phase 2, it says Dragon Egg is hatched. They're going to have merch, NFT integration with the Discord, airdrop to loyal community members and holders, OG and loyal member perks released, and then they're going to release season 2 mint details. Now, this isn't too bad. I guess they haven't really talked about eggs at all, so I don't know, like right off the rip, I'm like, okay, am I getting an egg here when I purchase this, or am I getting an actual dragon off the rip? Is this dragon egg hatch just, a second release of this project? What exactly is going on here? They haven't really delivered that information yet, and I'm halfway through their website. Now, nothing here is looking too crazy. Airdrops to loyal, it's not very specific. It's very broad. I have no idea what are these perks they're talking about, like there's just, where is the information? Where is the actual meat of this? And then it's saying future plans here, community lead ideas, metaverse discussions with community regarding Dragon's Den. I mean, essentially, I'm not seeing anything here that is really standing out or is going to make me very bullish on actually holding this project. And if you can't convince enough people to hold this project or buy more after the mint, then you can't even flip it, because there's going to be no buyers, there's only going to be sellers. And I don't think, from what I've seen so far, they've executed on that. And then I look at the art, guys, and the art really isn't standing out too much to me either. It doesn't look super high quality. It kind of looks just pieced together, and that is going to be another flag as far as, how well is this project going to do in the future if people really aren't falling in love with the art. So now we can kind of see the gallery here, guys. And literally, this dragon is the same thing as this dragon. And I'm not going to call something a rug pull, but this is most likely a rug pull, just because I'm not seeing a bunch of different layers. I'm seeing one base model here, one with an Iron Man suit that he could have just drawn. The teeth are the same on all of them. The eyes are the same on all of them. What is really changing? They colored this gold on one of them as well. This is one of those situations where if I can't see a lot of the different layers, if I can't see a lot of the different accessories, then this is a situation where they could have made just a couple pieces and then made this website on WordPress and are hoping to just rug pull everyone. So that's a major scare for me. I'm not saying this is a rug pull, but dude, I am not seeing any layers or really any changes between each of these pieces, and I haven't really seen any other information. Next thing I'm looking at on their website is their team. Most of the time, a team isn't doxed. As someone that is creating a project, I understand why people are doing this. There's a lot of BS with the SEC that I've had to try to work around. The taxes are crazy. And honestly, guys, it's actually very scary to launch your own project, because there's always that thought in the back of your mind of, oh, what doesn't it work out, right? And you're putting your face and you're putting your name on it. So I definitely understand why a lot of projects don't dox themselves. But I'll tell you what, guys, that is definitely a flag for me when they don't dox themselves at the same time, because it's like, if this is really a rug pull, literally all I'm seeing is these 3 models here, so it probably is. But if this is a rug pull, then how are we really going to hold their team accountable? We're going to call up King Dragon, Chief Dragon, and Master Dragon? Like, I don't know how we're really going to keep these people accountable. Then I go to the fact here. I do like how it's kind of buttons here, and they do have like the basic amount of information. Okay, next thing I do, and this is like, this whole thing, like, I just feel like they made this very, very quickly. I feel like they didn't really take their time with this. Now, once I'm done going through the website, next thing I like to do is I like to go to their Twitter. When I open their Twitter, the first thing I'll do is I'll see how many followers they have. And one website that I like going on is called SparkToro, and I'll see whether or not these followers are actually real or genuine. So I usually just type in fake Twitter followers. I look for SparkToro. What I do is I copy and paste that ID and I run an audit. And while that's running, I'll go back on their Twitter and see how well they're doing with marketing. How often are they posting? How much engagement do they have? And I'm seeing here, guys, that they do have actual different layers and different graphics when it comes to their NFTs, which gives me a little bit more confidence in what I was seeing on the website. I have no idea why they didn't really show off these different layers, and their whole banner here is literally like the same dragons, and they didn't even have a spot right here. It just seems very rushed. Like, why would you not be showing off these different layers? But regardless, I'm looking at these different layers. It looks like they did a gold color change. They changed this around a little bit. They put a cigar in their mouth. At least it's a couple more layers here. But one of the problems is, guys, I'm looking here, they're really not getting that much engagement on their different posts. 11 likes, 7 likes, 5 likes, 21 likes. At least 21 likes is a decent amount more of likes. 25, 3. Like, this really isn't a lot of engagement, but I do like to at least see that they're posting somewhat frequently. 25th, 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 23rd retweet, 23rd, 19th. I guess that's not even super recent. They've been only posting every couple of days. There was a 6-day or 7-day gap in between the 23rd and the 16th. And then there was another 5-day gap where they just retweeted a tweet. So they're not actually even marketing as well either. They're not really putting the time in to actually making a bunch of different posts. Now, when I go to the fake followers audit, it says 9% are fake. That's actually on the low end, guys. So I at least know that these followers are genuine and they weren't just buying fake followers. I then go back to this Twitter and I try to see how much this actual mint is versus the amount of followers they have and versus the amount of quantity. And a lot of times you can find that on their actual FAQ, or you can go on their Discord. It looks like they're doing a drop of 4,000 of these dragons at 45 ADA each. Now, that is a lot lower of a project compared to a lot of things out there. And what a lot of people don't do is they don't actually times the quantity by the amount of ADA. The total amount of ADA, guys, it's what's really important. It's not how much ADA per NFT or how many NFTs there are. It really is this total amount of ADA. And I wish I could give you guys a genuine ratio of like what would be a very good ADA amount, but that's just something that you learn of over time. And obviously, guys, it's going to depend a little bit on project to project, but they're asking for 180,000 ADA, which is a lot less ADA than a lot of other projects out there. And they do have 2,236 followers. So that is, in my opinion, a decent ratio. Usually what I like to happen though, guys, is I like to have the same amount of followers as mints, and anytime you have more followers than the amount that you're minting, that is a very good sign in my opinion. So in this situation, they have about half of the followers as they do what they're minting, but that ADA amount of 45 ADA is a lot less. So this ratio overall isn't too bad, and I'm honestly curious how they have so many followers with the amount of work and effort that they've been putting into this. Last thing that I do, guys, when I'm looking at a project, and by the way, whenever I look at a website of a project such as this website, I probably would have just moved on to the next project right away because it wasn't showing me the genuine checklist of what I needed off the rip. So I wouldn't have wasted any more time going over the rest of this stuff. Maybe I would have checked to see how many followers they had, and if they had a lot of followers, maybe I would have done a double take. But most of the time, if I open this up and I'm not liking the art and I'm not liking it, then I'm not going to waste my time and I'm going to go to another project because usually I can tell very, very quick. But in purposes of this video, I'm just doing like a genuine deep dive breakthrough. The last thing I do, guys, is I join their Discord and I check to see the amount of engagement as well as the amount of server boost. And I like to see how often the actual owners of this project are posting and engaging with the community. So I just joined and verified my account on here, guys. And one of the things that was weird was that there is nothing in the announcements channel. Now, I am verified in here, and that absolutely blows my mind if this is really the case. I don't know why I wouldn't be able to see any announcements now that I'm verified, and you can kind of see here, guys, I am verified, and if this is really true, then I would never mint this project. And once again, guys, I'm not trying to be rude. Maybe I don't know the full scheme of things of this project. I'm just telling you guys my opinion off rip. If they haven't been talking in their announcements, then why would I mint this project? It's also showing up here, guys, that they do have 9 boost, which is on the lower end. If I see a project have a ton of boost, then that means I'm going to be a lot more bullish on that project because people in the community were literally willing to spend $5 to boost a server, which means that they're bullish on that project. So if you have a lot of people putting their money up to boost something, then that is a really good sign. Next thing I'll look at here is I'll look at their chat and I'll see how often they're actually chatting with their different users and how many people are actually chatting. So it doesn't seem like there's too much movement in here. It says a couple of people said hi. You know, there is some chat, you know, people are saying good morning. I mean, it does look like they're building a little bit of a community here, guys. Good morning, dragons. It looks like they have some moderators that are helping out and that the master dragon, who looks to be the owner of this project, is engaging with their community. So on this aspect, they are doing a good job as far as communicating in their actual chat and talking to people. But like when it comes over here, guys, why is there no announcements? Nothing in official links. They just copy and pasted what they had over there, which isn't too bad. They're getting a decent amount of engagement on their pictures. I would like to see a little bit more than that, but to have 50 compared to the 1,600 people that are in here is pretty good. Yeah, this is a project that I would personally skip. You know, they're kind of just that. Yes, this is a project I would unfortunately skip, guys. Just a quick thing before I go over another project. I feel so bad, like, putting these projects on blast because I know like how much heart can go into some of these projects, but like you can definitely tell like when a project has put a lot of time in, has put a lot of thought in, and has basically knows what they're doing. And you know, this is why I only talk about good projects on my channel, because I really don't want to say anything negative about other projects out there. But we're doing this for a cause. On to the next one. Project number 2 example here is AD3V1s. I have no idea how to say this right. Maybe it's ADVs. I have no idea, but this is the next project. And as you'll see, guys, this is a project that was on my list for a couple different reasons. First thing that I noticed is that this website looks really clean. The colors look good. The different graphics, the different icons that are going around their text. They even have this scroll down thing. They have this animation of what their art is going to look like that looks really good, really clean. I can tell the line work is nice. I can tell that this is a unique concept, that they look special, that whole smoke coming out. Like right off the rip, guys, you can see the level of expertise difference between this project and the last project when it comes to their website. And now I'm going to scroll down here. Once again, it's a very nice transition between this top part over here with this bottom part. I like the color change. I like the background. These are all things that take time. And because I can notice they take time and because they look good, it means to me that most likely this is a project that is going to do well in the long run. They have a little bit of lore here, which people do like the lore and backstory of their project. They even have a little bit more of a read more thing. They then show another piece of their art, which once again looks good. They have a bunch of different details. It really stands out in my opinion. All of these different graphics in the neck look super cool to me. And then it gives us the information. Okay, this is a project called Devils, and it is a 2,500 piece collection, which includes 19 one-offs. Okay, great. I know right off rip there's going to be 2,500 of these. I then can go down, I can see different information about the rarity, and I can also see the price is only 60 ADA for 2,500 NFTs. So right off the rip, I'm thinking to myself, holy crap, this website looks really good. They're doing a limited drop of only 2,500 compared to a lot of projects out there, and they're only charging 60 ADA, which isn't a lot of ADA either. So boom, right off the rip, that's also looking really good. Then what I do is I scroll down a little bit more and I'm looking at their roadmap. I like how everything is cleanly laid out. It's going in order. It's going in a process here of what I'm looking for as an investor. Okay, they're doing this whole reveal thing. Okay, they say done. I like that. They say, hey, we're done with that. We're ready to go. Okay, first drop, 2,500 NFTs, 60 ADA each. They're doing that in this quarter too. This is about to happen this week. Okay, what's the next thing? Well, they're saying that they're going to have, this second second drop. They have no idea how much ADA or how many CNFTs, but it's going to be these robots called Nephilim. I know that if this is a whitelisted drop, that is probably going to be a catalyst event that brings more hype or more eyes back on this project when they do their second release. And then when I look up a little bit further, they're saying maybe we do some physical merch that's either owner exclusive or profit sharing. We expand our graphic novel, and maybe we do different upgrades / evolutions of the parts and accessories. So I'm not seeing anything here that is like some major blow me away utility, but at least they're not promising a bunch of like random metaverse crap like a lot of these projects out there that is simply not going to happen. There's just too many of them out there. So this is another thing though where I'm like, this is like more of an art project. Most likely this is going to have a really nice pop off right in the beginning, and there's a chance that the hype dies down leading up into the second drop. So if I was really just trying to make money here and I didn't want to hold this for the long term and I really wanted to be part of this community, in my mind I'm like, okay, let me buy this. I think this is going to do really well. I think that based on the expertise, how much the mint is, how much the supply is, that these are going to do well. Let me buy some of these and let me flip them while hype is high. And then once hype dies down, maybe let me buy some of these and wait for their second drop that's going to happen in Q3 or Q4, which it could be a couple months to 6 months away. So then maybe I wait, 2 months, buy back into this project and wait for that major announcement, because maybe we're at a low at that point of time. And then what's going to happen is when they make that announcement, even if it's not whitelist, which whitelist would be preferable, at least there's going to be more people having their eyes on the project. And in this situation, I'm calling right now that their second release is going to have more NFTs. They're probably going to do 5,000 NFTs. There's going to be a whitelist 1-for-1 for every single current one you have. So 2,500 is going to go to the whitelist, and then 2,500 goes to the public. That's what I would do if I were them. But you see, guys, this is like what I'm thinking of when I'm going through a project. Like I'm thinking, okay, is this a project that has potential? What is the expertise? Can I see what they're doing? Are things clearly laid out? Do I like the mint price and the amount of quantity they're doing compared to what I see? And based on the utilities, is this something that I think, as far as a strategy goes, something that I want to sell quickly, or is it something that I want to hold on to? If I don't sell it quickly, or if I do, what is going to be the next opportunity for me to get out or for me to get back in? These are things that are going on in my head the entire time. I scroll down a little bit more, I see their team. They aren't docs and they aren't giving a lot of information, but I'll tell you what, man, every single one of them has a different icon. These all look very good. It's absolutely, and maybe they are doxed. Wow, some of them might actually be doxed. I haven't actually clicked through them. It didn't really look, yeah, some of them are actually even doxed too. So that is actually a very good sign that I didn't even know about when I first looked at this project, because this just looked like, basically a title underlined rather than an actual link. So that's on me. So that's even better. So the fact that they have this whole entire team here with all of these different artists and writers and developers and minters, and the fact that you can actually see, this one is just a title. I think that's what got me. Some of them are titles and some of them aren't. But to be able to see this is honestly very nice, guys. Next thing is, go to the Twitter, copy their little username here. I go to Spark Turo, and while I'm looking at the Twitter, this is going to run an audit of their 4,600 followers. I then look at their Twitter, 4,656 followers compared to a 2,500 mint drop that is literally 60 ADA. What does that have me thinking, guys? Holy crap, this is probably a very, very, very good mint ratio of almost 2 followers to 1, and there is a very low likelihood that these don't sell out and do well on the secondary market. So right off rip, just based on those metrics and based on what I'm seeing, I'm like, this is a project that I'm very confident in. Then I go to see what their marketing is doing. I love seeing videos, because videos are actually able to tell you the actual views that something is getting. You can know when someone is faking their followers if the video aren't getting a lot of views. I'm seeing a decent amount of engagement here, 137 likes. I'm seeing them retweet a bunch of stuff. I'm seeing, oh my God. Also, for whatever reason, my Chrome just randomly crashes, guys. I don't know if I have like some sort of virus or something, but something to key for me to figure out. But yes, dude, they're posting all the time. They're getting a decent amount of engagement. They got 48 likes here, 26 likes here, 62 likes here. I've seen other projects get more engagement than this, but this is still good. I'm seeing them post all the time. 27th, 26, 26, 26, 26, 26, 26, constantly retweeting, constantly posting. Like, this is the stuff they need to do in order to really get a following. And I appreciate them actually doing this. I mean, there were 7 or 8 different posts between the retweets and them actually posting just within that one day. So I know they're really actually trying to grow this project. Then I can see this fake Twitter account. Okay, 12% are fake followers. And guys, fake followers are accounts that are unreachable and will not see the account's tweets, either because they're spam, bots, propaganda, etc., or because they're no longer active on Twitter. This usually happens, guys, when people are trying to enter giveaways, or maybe they might just have, a secondary account that has no following and it's pulling up that that's a fake follower. And that's why the median here is 18.5%. I don't really get worried unless this number is over 18.5%. But what will happen sometimes, guys, is it'll be like 30% or 25%. And if they're buying fake followers, that is a guaranteed I'm not minting it, because that's sketch as hell. Last thing that I like to do here is go on their Discord. I check to see how many people are boosting the server. 17 people are boosting the server, which is pretty good compared to the amount of followers they have. And now I'm seeing their announcements. How often are they putting announcements? How often are people putting emojis or being engaged? The more engaged they are, the more likely they are to buy the project and actually, be a holder or at least interested, right? I like to see how they're posting information all the time. The 18th. Now, there was a pretty big gap between this 18th and 8th here. I don't know what the explanation for that is, but they are doing these different collabs as well. They're saying their website is live. I mean, some of this stuff was pretty early, and it's nice to see that their engagement did go up over time. I like to see their different channels as well. Do they have all the information that I need? Yes, this fact page has all the information. And then I go to general chat. How often are people talking? Are the owners and admins talking a lot? Yes, I see that this moon person is talking a lot. Like, these are things I'm looking for, guys. Really, the Discord is just a good way to see the overall engagement, see how many members they have compared to the amount of followers they have on Twitter. Usually if you have a lot more on Discord versus Twitter, like if there's a very big disparity, then sometimes they might have had an invite contest on their actual Discord where a bunch of people just entered a lot of their Discords or used a bunch of bots. And then that's when you really need to look at engagement, see how many emojis, see how much the actual boost are. Don't just look at the member count, guys, because any of these projects that are doing invites, there's a chance that one person could have 15 Discord accounts and just invite all of his own accounts in order to get a whitelist or something like that, right? So that's why I look at boost instead. That's pretty much the process that I go on with every single drop that's happening on best CNFT drops. And usually what I'll do is on the CNFT calendar, I'll open up a decent amount of them and give them a much quicker look. Now, the thing is, guys, is after looking at thousands of projects, you get really good at being able to identify things very quickly. And usually I'm able to tell within the first 1 to 2 minutes whether or not I'm going to mint that project. Because, guys, I'm a very big quality over quantity guy. I am very bullish on ADA, so why am I going to risk my ADA getting into these random NFT projects that I'm not confident on? I only want to go for NFT projects that I think is almost a guarantee that I make money even if I get a floor piece. And if I get something rarer than a floor piece, then hallelujah, I just made a decent amount of money. And I'll tell you what, guys, making money in this space is the most cracked and easy thing to do once you know what you're doing, because once you can identify a high quality drop, you know you're going to make money on it. You know it's going to be profitable. Salty Seagulls was one of those drops that, even though I was like iffy at first before I talked to the team a little bit, it was one of those drops where, hey, you paid 120 ADA. If you got a floor piece, they're going for 200 right now. That is 80 ADA profit after the 5% royalty. That's 10 ADA. You take 10 ADA off the 80 ADA, that's 70 ADA. You would have made 70 ADA per Seagull. You were able to get 3 Seagulls per transaction, which is just 210 ADA profit, or literally over $100 profit just off that one little drop if you got a floor piece. Now imagine if you were able to get 10 of them, 12 of them, 15 of them. And I know some people are against scaling. I'm actually doing a poll right now on my Twitter to see how many people are against scaling. And there's a whole conversation that I can open up with that, guys. But that's when, when you really get good at this, you're like, okay, this is a drop I'm comfortable with. Not only am I going to mint it, but I'm going to try to mint multiple. And now all of a sudden, instead of getting 3 Salty Seagulls, and making 210 ADA around $100, now all of a sudden you could get 12 Salty Seagulls, and now all of a sudden, worst case scenario, maybe you made $500. And it literally just took 5 minutes of sending a transaction on the computer and easily listing it on JPEG Store. And in the off chance you get something super rare, you can turn something like 40 ADA into 2,000 ADA and make a lot of money. And then once again, guys, if you're okay with scaling, like boom, you got 10 of them, boom, you got 15 of them. Boom, you got 20 of them. And now you really scaled up and elevated the amount of money you're making just because you were able to identify the opportunity. Now, the only other thing that you guys have to know here is that a lot of times drops that are from projects that are already out are going to be your most profitable drops and are going to be the drops you're most confident on. Prime example, the cornucopias drop with their land that's happening this week. They've already done well with their javelins. They've already done well with the jets. They have over 30,000 followers. You know that land is going to do well, even though that land is a little bit expensive. So those drops aren't going to be on best CNFT drops. They're literally just going to have to be found on Twitter or on YouTube or on Discord. There's no better way about going about it. Usually I do a decent job about covering them, such as like the Smooth Yeti snowmobile parts and the Ape Society cabins and now this land with cornucopias. But when it comes to that, guys, I have not found a site that really gave you that information of these second layer drops or the second drops of projects. And those are usually the best drops to go for. And one of the things that I want to bring up about that is I teased the utility of one of the aspects of being in the block investment group. And one thing that we're doing is we're creating an alpha group, but not like an alpha group anyone is used to. I've been a part of very specialized groups for over 5 years now, and it's what really made me a decent amount of money, especially through college, because I was in these groups that told me about all these different opportunities that gave me all these different resources. So one of the things, like another little teaser thrown in here that we're doing at the block investment group is we're going to have special release calendars where every single so you don't miss out on any more opportunities. So every single drop, whether it's Ethereum, whether it's Solana, whether it's Cardano, that has potential and that was filtered through the team of experts and specials that we're going to have, is going to have a channel on Discord and is going to give you the breakdown. Hey guys, Cornucopia's land is dropping on the 19th. This is their Twitter. This is their website. This is their Discord. This is the summary breakdown. This is the mint supply. This is the mint price. This is how much we think the risk is on a 1 to 10. This is how you should be able to mint this project. What you need to do, set it up. Maybe have some videos of the whole entire tree sale so people get an idea of how that worked and how the process goes. So that's going to be something that we add because there's a huge need of being able to find these opportunities. And it's something that like NFT projects haven't really done. And that's why we really want to do it in the block investment group, because it's like, if you can have an NFT that then gives you information to find an opportunity that you would have otherwise not known about, and that opportunity made you $1,000, then it's like, holy crap, that NFT that just gave you the membership to that exclusive group just made way more money than potentially that NFT is even worth. So that's one of our goals, is to like give the information and resources for projects like this to really dissect these different projects and a bunch of other stuff that I'm going to mention in order to give you guys an advantage and an opportunity to know what the opportunities are. But more information on that later. But yeah, if you guys aren't already following our different socials or different Discords, if you're not already staking to our stake pool, make sure to go to the description and check out our link tree. I appreciate all of you guys watching, and I hope this helped you out. But yeah, see you guys soon.